Hey now, we're at the condo in Portugal, and even though we just got back from a beach excursion early this afternoon, we thought it might be fun to go back to the beach later on for some dinner, maybe watch the sunset, play, hang around when it's just a touch cooler outside. Now, along with that, we thought it might be fun to make some pizzas, take them with us, and eat them there at the beach. So, even though I just walked several kilometers hauling children in a wagon, it's time to make some pizza dough. So, since we're not at home, I get to use some local ingredients. So I picked up this pizza flour from the store, and it actually has a recipe on the back here that I'm going to follow. So let's give it a whirl. I'm starting off here with, I'm actually doing a 1.5 times recipe, but I'll just tell you what the ingredients would be, the measurements would be for the original. So this is 300 mils or grams of some warm water, probably in that 110 Fahrenheit-ish range. I've got 15 grams here of just some fine salt. I'm gonna toss that in, and 5 grams of some fine table sugar. I'm gonna pop that in, and I'm actually just going to give it a quick stir here. Mix it into the water a little bit, so hopefully it blends a little bit nicer into the dough. I'm also going to be adding 30 grams, or 30 mils, sorry, or in this case 45, because it's a 1.5 times recipe, of olive oil. Because we're in Portugal, so of course olive oil and everything. There we are. And then to that, I'm going to be mixing in 500 grams of this pizza flour. Beautiful. So I'm just going to go ahead, mix it up here until it is fully incorporated. Okay, so it's basically combined. I'm just going to pop it out onto the counter here, and now begin the somewhat laborious process of kneading. This would be really nice if I had a stand mixer here, the dough hook. It would probably just take 4 or 5 minutes of mixing. This is going to take a bit longer than that, I'm sure. So, we'll be back. So after 4 minutes, I'm happy with that. It's relatively smooth, mostly elastic. I just went ahead in this bowl, which I cleaned out, and added a solid tablespoon of some olive oil. And just toss this in here, give it a little flipperoo. And I'm going to cover it up and let it sit. Now, because this already has, this flour already has dried yeast in it, according to this recipe, it says a half-hour rise time. We'll see what that actually looks like in practice. So I've got this bacon here, and the bacon that they've got is not really cubed. It's almost more like rectangular cubes, if that makes sense here. We purchased it like this, so because this is going on a pizza, I'm going to pre-cook it here most of the way just to get some of that fat out, so it's not all just sitting there pooling on the pizza. And I have a fun little container of mixed mushrooms, and there's going to be some bacon grease here, so should probably take these and kind of chop them up a little bit and get them sauteed in the bacon fat. And then I also found this little pepper melange of Portuguese. They're all Portuguese peppers. There's some jalapenos apparently, and habanero and Scotch bonnet. So let's slice those. And so it looks like we've got some ingredients ready here to make some pizzas. So this has risen a bit here after it's almost an hour. That 30 minutes was not sufficient in my mind. What I want to do now is I'm going to pop this out, and we're going to basically divide it into, I think, 4 pizzas, and let it rise just a little bit more. My hand's all nice and floury here. Now the real trick is trying to get this into relative fourths. I'll cut it like that and then split it like this is the easiest way to do that. Oh yeah. So I'm just going to take this, get it into some balls here. And set them over here. And I'm going to cover them up here with a wet towel and let them sit for, I don't know, maybe another 15-20 minutes before I mess around with them further. So our pizza sauce today is going to be this, it's a tomato pulp with onion and garlic from Compal, and it seems to be a decent consistency and whatnot, so hopefully this will work well. All right, let's give pizza number one a whirl here. Flour up my hands a little bit. We'll see what this dough is like. Well, it's definitely not quite as stretchy as my usual pizza dough. However, we're going to try to make it work. I'll sit here and just stretch this out a bit. And I'm going to snag my rolling pin that I seem to have left in the drawer. I like that there's such a draft in here. I sprinkle my flour and it just sails out the window. So I've seen them in several locations rolling out their dough. Normally this isn't what I do unless I'm making a really flat crust pizza. However, we will do it with this dough. It seems to be working pretty decently. My kingdom for counter space. All right, I think that's probably good. I'm now just going to grab my pizza pan here, put this onto here, just a little bit more. If I'd done this as 3 pieces instead of 4, I could have easily filled that all up. I don't have a docker. I'm just going to give this a slight poking with a fork just to prevent any kind of large bubbling that might occur. And this pizza here is going to be a half and half. The littles tonight decided that they wanted a cheese pizza, so half of this is going to be cheese, the other half is going to have some nice salami on it. Yeah, this sauce seems to be the perfect consistency for this. A little bit more of that right here. All right, perfect. So, cheese over the whole thing. Now I'm actually going with some shredded mozzarella that we found. We couldn't find any just regular white mozzarella, and it seemed like all of the little pizzerias around here were using mozzarella as opposed to like fresh mozzarella or bocconcini. So we went with this just to more closely emulate some of the pizzas we've been having. There we go, cheese, and then, oh right, we're not going salami. We're going with some mild chorizo. 1/2 here. Beautiful. Just a light extra sprinkling. I'm being informed that I didn't put enough on there. Let's get just a little bit on the top of this. I guess if it's just a cheese pizza, it should have lots of cheese on it. Okay, fantastic. This oven I've got preheated at 500 degrees, and it mostly fits in there. Okay, cool. And we'll see how long this takes. And after just over 5 minutes, pizza number 1 is done. This other pan that I've got seems to be just a little smaller in diameter, so it looks like I filled the whole thing. Very impressed with myself. And sad little fork docking. Now this one, we'll do something a little different. I'm gonna go with some garlic infused olive oil here. I've had So we're just macerating for a little while. Don't want to go too heavy on the oil. It would obviously be a huge mistake. Feel greasy. Enough. Oh. Can you smell the garlic? I can. Should be coming right through the screen at this intensity. And we're going to go with some sauteed onions. These were also sauteed in that bacon fat. Some of these on here. Nice caramelized action. Then we're going to go with some fresh figs. We weren't sure what we were going to do for pizzas, and then yesterday we were walking home and we came across a fig tree on the street, and some of the figs were nice and ripe and ready to be picked, so we saw that as a sign, and now here we go. Fresh figs on this pizza. Chopped up just a few minutes ago. Delightful. And we're going to go with, again, some of this cheese. At this point, I almost prefer some fresh mozzarella on here. I think it would be really nice, but we're going with what we've got, and it is this. Swirl all around. Just a touch more. And then, so we've got the garlic, we've got the flavorful olive oil, we've got the sweetness of those beautiful figs. Now we're going to go with some nice, beautiful, salty presunto, which is sort of Portugal's answer to prosciutto. Just a little bit more flavorful in my opinion because of the paprika and the garlic and the red wine that's used as part of the curing and aging process. Down here, one more in the middle, and then there will be some for me to snack on when nobody's looking. And big pizza hit in the oven. And presunto pizza coming out of the oven. And pizza number 3. Going back to this tomato sauce. It's all around here. Lots of sauce on this one. And we're gonna go with what we have here. Actually, some onions. Just a little bit of onions on this one. Just kind of use up. Sauteed. Get a little bit of mushrooms on here. We'll go with some of this chorizo. A little bit of this going around. Underneath the cheese. Speaking of, it's time for cheese. Uh-oh, brief pause, have to open more cheese. All right, cheese is reloaded. So now we're going back around here. Just a little bit more. And let's get some of this on here. It's nice charcuterie. Beautiful. And some of this bacon that we fried up earlier. Beautiful. Pizza number 3 going on in. And pizza number 3 all ready. And our final dough is hitting the pan here. After the pan cooled down, it was real hot coming out of the oven. I suppose that's the whole point. Fantastic. And Looks like we might have over-purchased sauce. Just have to make some more pizzas. Okay. We are nice and sauced. So, what are we going to throw on this here? We are going to go with some cheese. It's just an initial layer. This one's all daddy right here. So, I'm going to go some nice cheese. We're going to need that milk fat later on, and you'll see why. So, then, lots of mushrooms. Oh, I'm so excited to try this pizza with these funky shrooms on here. We're going to go with some of this chorizo. This isn't good. I'm absolutely starving now. The tendency is going to be to put way too much stuff on this pizza. And a piece for the camera woman. What else do we have here? We've got some of our meat. I don't even remember what this was supposed to be. Some kind of sausage. Yes, we're going to use all of it. No matter what. There we go. That on there. And now this will require some more cheese. Why this cheese, you ask? Because of this ridiculous quantity of these peppers. I cut them all up. So we've got red and yellow, apparently jalapenos. I left the seeds in those. I did take the seeds out of the Scotch bonnet and the habanero because I don't want to die on the beach. I'm only going to have access to so much with which to wet my whistle. And then we'll dump on the rest of this bacon. And there we go. Too close to the sun? We'll find out. And last pizza, Daddy's pizza, hitting the oven. And finally, pizza number 4 is done. So I'm going to slice these pizzas up here. And as you can see, we had the foresight the other day to snag some pizzas to go when we were at the store, and we're going to transport them in for these pizza boxes. Beach time! This kitchen scene is brought to you by the producers of Scarface. And we are on our way to the beach. Loaded with pizza. So I should mention that the family's already down at the beach playing volleyball or something. And I'm on this big old bridge, just about 20 minutes into this walk, run, whatever it is. And I'm having some strong feelings of just cracking open these beers and pizzas and letting them fend for themselves. Almost ran over some people. Yeah, I'm still walking. I'm passing all kinds of little restaurants and stuff on the side here. I'm at the beach. I'm just way up high. I'm starting to wonder if wouldn't have been wiser just to grab food here. This pizza better have lasted okay in the boxes, or I'm gonna lose it. Okay, goody. They're somewhere down there. Let's see if we can find them. Yeah, how hard can this be, right? Oh, looks like the wind kicked up a bit here. Well, we made it down here. There was never any doubt that I would do it, and no doubt that I would stop and just eat them myself. What do you girls think of the pizza?
Amazing! Amazing!
Awesome! All right, let's try this fig and presunto pizza here. Well, just like I said when I was making it, amazing balance of that salty presunto meat, the sweet figs. You get that nice pungency of the caramelized onions there. Fantastic. Super happy with that.
That's my pizza.
Well, I wasn't wrong about the heat of those peppers. Woo! That is spicy. But you know what? After all that work, the walk, everything here, I think it's worth it overall. The pizza crust turned out really good. The girls are happy with it. So happier than some of the pizza that they've had here. So I'd say we took it to 11. Cheers.